Yo, what is going on, part-timers? Zach here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Vera. So I am on the creator account from Kiro. The main reason I'm doing this is because I'm actually grinding her out on my account. I'm not going to spend any BC, so I wanted to be able to showcase her, and I'm able to have her on this one. So first thing, how do you get her? So you can actually get her from the polls. This is just going to be the base gacha. So if you do have the blue shards, you can definitely do that. I would recommend holding on to them or hanging on to your BC as well. You don't really want to be spending here. If you are a new player, I really recommend it, because there's a lot of different units and stuff like that 10 pull could go towards. Now, if you are just like, hey, I really want the character, I don't really care, you just have to do 10 tips. She is an A rank character, meaning that you're guaranteed 100%. Just make sure that she is clicked. So if you can see behind me, which you can obviously, but there will be a little selector here. You just got to change set. Just make sure it's on her, because you can see that you can actually select other characters. For whatever reason, sometimes this isn't selected on it. So just make sure to do that before you start pulling, because you'll be very disappointed if you end up with somebody else. So that is the way to do it. If you're like, hey, I just really want her, I don't really care how much it costs. Again, I recommend anybody pretty much to save the BC if they can, because if you go into your event here, you can see her interlude. You can click her interlude and it'll look like this. So the interlude originally will look like this. If you've never seen one before, you can go to switch to challenge and it will give you 2 attempts. So these 2 attempts will be for shards. So you get 1 shard per attempt. So you can do 2 attempts a day, and they are 30 stamina. So you got to set aside about 60 stamina a day in order to do your 2 attempts to get your 2 shards. So it will take you about 15 days in order to get her unlocked, because she has 30 shards in order to get her unlocked. And then after that, you can do the interlude as much as you want after the event, because once the event actually ends, you will not be able to do her interlude unless you have her unlocked at that point in time. So it's really important to do her interlude if you really want her. So after the event, when you have her, you can grind up her shards and all that kind of stuff to get her to like SS or SSS, whatever you really want to do there. So that is going to be the main ways to do it, just depending on what you want to do in your situations on your BC. So jumping into the actual look and feel of her, this is what she looks like. She is going to be a support for Dark. So this is going to be something that a lot of people have been waiting for a lot of different Dark teams. If you have, you know, S rank camp for your defense, and you probably have a Watanabe, which is basically the S rank Watanabe for Dark, this is going to fit right in there as the support for that. That's basically going to be the team until Luna comes, and then Luna will take over for Watanabe. So if you're wondering what team she's going to be on, that is your bread and butter for Dark. We finally have like a full circle Dark team. I've been waiting for this one because my Dark has been lacking when it comes to Warzone. Now, jumping into our weapon, I know a lot of people are going to be asking, hey, 6-star weapon, does it matter? Does it not matter? It does help out with damage increase for Dark, especially. This is going to do a lot of stuff to increase her damage. However, a lot of you guys are just going to use her as support. So I really recommend just using a 5-star that you have. Any 5-star will do, or even this 4-star that you have just sitting around, because mainly she's just going to be out there to heal and just give you a little bit of buff with Da Vinci and stuff like that. So this is just going to be something that, you know, you're just really playing her on the side of support. Now, going into her memories, this is going to be kind of what you expect. She's going to be Da Vinci. She's going to have Guinevere for the increase of the elemental resistance and damage. Now, you can flip this. You can actually have 4 Guinevere and 2 Da Vinci if you want to. Totally up to you what you want to do, as far as like you want her to be like a healer where she's like healing all the time, with the Guinevere 4 stat here that gives you the healing drone and does all the different things for elemental attack and all that kind of stuff. I would really recommend just kind of using her as a QTE slave, unless you're putting that onto Cam. But really, Cam's just going to be the, you know, debuff and all that kind of stuff and help you out with that way. But it's definitely up to the way that you want to do. There is another set that you can use if you're wanting to just go like full damage with her. So if we go into like details and go to recommended equipment, you can actually see that some people are going to be running her with Bathlon. This is going to be a 4 set. And then you can actually see that Catalina is actually going to be on here as well. So this is just going to be like, hey, I just want to see what she can do. A lot of you guys may just try it just for the fun of it, but that is going to be your damage set. But mainly you're going to have her as like either a full healer or just the QTE slave with a little bit of healing there. Like I said, no 6-star weapon required on her if you are using her as just the support there. Now, her skills, I'm not going to read it like I normally do, because it's pretty simplistic when it comes to just, hey, these two, the red and yellow orbs, are just mainly attacks, right? So this first one just does a bit of damage, physical damage. If you 3-ping it, it does dark damage. This one here is actually kind of cool because it does kind of a twofer. You don't actually have to 3-ping it. So the first wave is going to be dark damage, and then it does another thrust forward and it does physical damage as well. However, if you do the 3-ping, it will just do dark damage continuously. So it'll be dark and dark. So that's just kind of the main difference here. Now, the blue orb is going to be what you're kind of paying attention to, because this is actually going to do a little bit of physical damage here. Again, on the 3-ping, it's going to be dark damage, but it's actually going to mark targets. So this mark target's actually going to do a certain percentage of damage to all enemies, including itself. And it's actually going to heal all ally units for a certain percentage of Vera's attack per second in the area. So the mark actually only lasts for 5 seconds. and it can only be done to one person at one time. So you can't mark like an entire group of people. It's just one person at one time. So it gives you a little bit of healing, does area damage. So it is really cool as a blue orb and just something to kind of think about whenever you're using her. So let's go ahead and talk about her signature here. So this is going to be kind of an AoE thing, but when it first comes out, it does an initial damage of a certain percentage of dark damage, and then over time it'll also do dark damage as everybody's kind of standing in the circle. Now the interesting part is it actually heals over time as well. So anybody who's in the circle that is your teammate will also get healed and get a little bit of a movement speed buff from what you can see down here in the description here. So this is going to be really helpful for healing, obviously, and just doing AoE and then just giving you a little bit of a buff there. Now the Q2E, this is also going to do healing, and it's just really good for, you know, hey, you just got a lot of healing, you got AoE, you got all kinds of stuff going on for her. So lastly, let's go ahead and talk about our core passive. So I'm going to be showing some gameplay here. At the bottom, you can see that there's a little bar here, and as you kind of progress, it will just eventually go up. You don't actually have to do anything, but there are a couple of different things you can do to kind of speed it up with some different signal orbs and stuff like that. This bar will actually go up passively if she is in support mode, meaning that, you know, you're just using your main DPS. This bar will gradually go up on its own, and by the time that you swap off onto her, you'll actually have a full bar to use the different moves that she has. So it is a little bit weird, which I'll be showing on the gameplay, essentially how to get it going. You actually have to hold the attack button, and then this little thing will happen, and then you just spam the crap out of the attack button, and you can just do a massive amount of dark damage and physical damage to nearby targets. So it's just kind of one of those things that as you build it up, it's just going to do a massive amount of damage. So whenever you swap off onto her, when that meter is built, you're going to be able to just help out your team quite a bit. Overall, I think Vera is a very good addition to the dark teams, especially if you guys have been waiting for a full dark team. And like me, I've been kind of lacking on the dark department when it comes to just, you know, getting some different scores and stuff like that. Her coding is going to be free as well. If you guys haven't already gotten it, you're probably a day away from getting it. So if you're looking at a different coding as well, this is something that you'll be able to get. So that is really cool that they gave us another free coding, especially since we got the Lee one as well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.